Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and even though it is only the 26th, I'm going to do my layout share with you because starting tomorrow, the 27th, Daisy and I are bringing back 12 Days of Christmas, the music edition, and so I just felt like this would be a great place to wrap up the month, and I'll include all of those layouts in my December layout share because they're all Christmas related anyway. So to start off, I have this fun, I love this. It's for my Traveler's Notebook spread I have a Traveler's Notebook that's just about Sean and I. And this will be an insert that goes in there using the gorgeous home cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict. This is for my design team contribution for this month. And I love how this turned out. I made a little shaker, even though it doesn't really shake, but there's sequins in there. And I just adore the way that this turned out using the Coco Vanilla Studio Collection Daydreamer. So there's that one. I also have this part of the spread for the challenge from Scrapbook Your Joy. I was guest designing using the Vicki Boutin Storyteller Collection along with Moira. We were both highlighting it, and it was so much fun to do it together. And we both decided we wanted to do the challenge in the Facebook group about the letter D. So we did Document December Daily, whichever one you chose, Diagonal, and die cuts. I got a couple die cuts used up, kind of. A few ephemera used up more so than die cuts. I got the word D document, which was exciting. I kind of tilted my photo to give the diagonal kind of effect, and it's in my December documented. So this is just a Traveler's Notebook Advent calendar from actually 2018. I really need to get going on that, but I have that one done as well. I'm just putting these back so that they don't get lost in the shuffle. Okay, the rest are all layouts. So let's see here. I have this one, which was also for Confessions of a Paper Addict, using the Fall Harvest cut file and this gorgeous pumpkin cut file. I combined them together, kind of made a scene, which I loved. Some sequins from Sequel Mom Scraps, and I'm using the gorgeous collection from Simple Stories. You're going to see that collection featured a lot this month. I used it a ton, and it's this Stay Cozy collection, or Keep Cozy, whatever it is. I love it. And these are from last year's Pumpkin Patch trip, and it was Barrett's first one, and this was them in they're sitting in a trailer of pumpkins, and that one is actually a photo booth area, but I just love how they turned out. Love this layout, love all the sparkle, and it's just makes my heart happy. Here's this Cozy Day collection. That's what it's called. There's another one for here, and this is also for Confessions of a Paper Addict. So that's all three of my designs my contributions for the design team for this month. This one is the Stacked Frames cut file. I loved it. Did a little mixed media. A photo of me having coffee in front of the fireplace at our old house when we used to have a fireplace. I missed that. I painted the cut file and then did some stitching and then added a bunch of little bits of ephemera around, and it just says Morning Pumpkin, have a cozy day. Love how that one turned out. I will also say, before I forget, the month of November was a focus on cut files. So almost every single layout is cut file based, because that was the point, was to try and feature cut files as much as possible. That being said, this particular layout does not have a cut file. It was, this is from the Storyteller Collection. Moira challenged me to use a certain piece of pattern paper, so I went ahead and turned it into a rainbow, because that's what it looked like to me. I did hand stitching in the same colors, placed my photos of my kids. Oh, their sweet dirty faces. They were riding their bikes after we had a rainstorm, and then everything dried and they got all dusty, and man, did they get dirty. But that led to my title, which is a quote: of all the paths you take in life, make sure a few of them end in dirt. So I feel like it all kind of worked well together, and I'm very pleased with how this layout turned out. The dark, even though it's dark, patterns and stuff, background there, it still is light and airy, and I love this layout. It was a fun challenge, so thank you, Moira. Here is another one using that collection. I'm sorry, you guys. I've had a couple interruptions and I'm not sure where I ended. So this was the first layout I created for Scrapbook Your Joy using the collection. And I actually used the cover to the collection. And I love that. It was scraplifting the fabulous Kelsey from Kelsey May Weber and her fabulous layout, which is something that Christina's been doing every single day this month, is scraplifting someone that inspires her. Again, you either love pumpkin season or you're wrong. I used longer titles this month and I really loved it. And a cut file from the Creative Cuts Club. Oh, I should talk about the photo, silly. Here is the same pumpkin patch, same year, and Jackson in that wagon full of pumpkins. I'm gonna have a layout of each one of my kids for this particular season because it was a new pumpkin patch and I got some pretty cute photos. So that one. Back to Halloween. This one was scraplifting Moira for that same collection series that Christina was doing, and it was just, I don't think there was anything else to this one. I can't remember. I think it was just taking on Moira. I'm not exactly sure, but I used the title "You've Got a Friend in Me." This fabulous photo of Jackson when he was about 3, I think. He was Buzz Lightyear. So cute, and he's playing with his Buzz, which I loved. So there's that one, and I used a cut file as well. This one I think I just received from Daisy or Megan, but I liked how it kind of made it just a bit of a breakup between everything else that I was using. And you know what, I think I was trying to showcase, I know what this is for, it was showcasing wood veneer and how you could use it in different ways. So I was showing how I use it in a subtle way, is how I ended up doing that one. All right, now here's this one, which was scraplifting Susan L., who I love. I love Susan's work. It's gorgeous. And I'm not sure. Oh, this was for the Back to the Future hop as well. So that was a fun one. And I just chose to take a quote from the movie. I kind of mistook the challenge. We were supposed to be using older stuff to create a layout. So Back to the Future, like bringing something old, an old tool or something, and bringing it back to today. I kind of didn't do that. But that's okay. I did use some older thickers, if that counts. I don't know. So I used the title, "Your future is whatever you make it." So make it a good one. And I did a bunch of different stencils. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different stencils, and I just kind of rotated them around. And the stitching in black. And I loved how this particular thicker matched this background border paper that I used, which is from Chamel, I believe. Yes. Loved that. And then I used some random stars that I had in my stash from a cut file from a long time ago, which was nice. I actually think these are from Confessions of a Paper Addict. And then these are Jackson's back to school photos for this year. Look at how big he's getting. Oh, I can't handle it. Here is the layout I made for Sarah Scraps Sketches Reimagined series. She's now focusing in on Laura Whitaker. I love Laura Whitaker's sketches, so went ahead and participated with her. On that same day, we also had Crystal and Christina joining, so it was like all the Chris's. It's kind of fun. And I used some photos from Canada Day this year while we were at home. The Daydreamer collection from Coco Vanilla Studio, and a cut file from Creative Cuts Club. So there, I did get the cut file used in. And this one was, the design was a star. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully I remember to put all the things up here. But I wasn't feeling the stars, so I decided to just do this cut file instead. And it's very simple, but I do like it. And I've had someone actually, I think it was Anne, someone mentioned how much they're really enjoying my layouts this month. They're a little bit more on the cleaner side than sometimes what I normally do, and she's really been enjoying them. So thank you for that comment. That made my day. I kind of go through phases, and apparently I was in a more cleaner phase right now. Not that this one is clean, but that's okay. What is this one for? I don't remember. But it is a cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I love these photos. This was Halloween. from 2018. So Jackson would have been 4, Nora was 1. And I love it. So I've got my little Bumblebee there and Wonder Woman, and they're just oh so adorable. And I love this one of Nora looking at Jackson with his mask on. And it's using some stash, so it might have just been a stash bash layout that I can't think of. Love Your Scraps series that Daisy and I do. We try to do, you know, them as much as we can. And I did some mixed media. And another fun title, so Pumpkin Smile and Black Cat Grin, Time to Let the Spooky in. And now that I'm thinking about it, this was actually for Christina Day. All of this is coming to me as I think about it. And this was from one of the Fall Stash Bash Palooza, one of the layouts. It looks nothing like the original layout. I started with good intentions of scrap lifting it and using it the way Christina had done it, and it just kind of took on a mind of its own. So that is what that one is actually for. Here is another Creative Cuts cut file, and this was for Everyday Inspiration. Crystal shared with us a gorgeous photo of her mantle in her home, and it was fall themed, so I went all fall themed. And this is the same pumpkin patch. I did a lot of this pumpkin trip. But every year I try to document which pumpkin patch we go to, so this layout will be in a completely separate album than the other layouts. And this one was fun because it was a new one, which is always interesting. I did some hand stitching around all of the leaves and stuff. Took a bit of time, but I love it. Got some of the stickers up. This was using that Cozy Days collection from Simple Stories. And there's a tiny bit of mixed media on the background using a stencil, so there's just a bit of interest there. Here is a pocket page. This is going to go into a December daily. I'm just not sure which one yet, but I created it along with this layout for a hop for Scrapbook Your Joy, featuring photo play paper and how you can work with less to create a layout, because photo play doesn't have a ton of embellishments or anything other than the paper and a few stickers, so how you can make that work. So I went ahead and minus the sequins, everything from there is from that collection, and I eventually will have a little photo here, so this will flip up with the journaling and the photo will be there, and that will go in December daily somewhere. And then let's see, I have this one, which is same thing. This is the one I actually had a process video for. I don't even think I shared that one anywhere, but I used a cut file again from Creative Cuts Club and highlighted. I tried to get as much of the pattern papers from the collection there, including this little stripe. I struggle with stripes, but using it in this little bit like this worked really well. So I put, and it's a sticker, but it's still within the pattern paper. So I put that up there. A couple stickers here and there. I used a fox and a bunny to represent my little ones there. The title is Noel. I added this fun little piece too, and a couple tags, and then there's a frame sticker that I added at the very end. So I'm super pleased with how this turned out. I think the only thing that's not from the collection is the cut file and this little bit of tissue paper that I used. Everything else is all from that collection, and it was a really fun hop, and people came up with amazing ideas. So if you haven't actually seen that hop, you should go back and check it out because it was a lot of fun. And we all used a different collection from Photoplay. Here is one for, well, it's using the Storyteller collection. Oh, I know what it's for. The Confessions of a Paper Addict November challenge was to document when I grow up. And my little guy, this is Jackson, my oldest, and he, for the longest time, wanted to be a firefighter. Like 2.5 years at least, he wanted to be a firefighter. So when Virginia released this free cut file for the month of November, you can still get it if you go and download it now, if you don't have it already. And I was like, oh, I have the perfect photos for it. Yes, this is from Halloween. This isn't necessarily a Halloween layout, but I loved it. So I used that, a sketch from the Secret Not Secret Kid Club Scrap Party, and Storyteller collection for Scrapbook Your Joy. So this is like a 3-for-1 all-in type layout. And let me tell you, this fun little fire truck, and it's fabulous, and I'm so happy I did it. But stitching this was so much work. And my fingers, I got blisters from stitching so much, but I love it, and it was worth every minute of pain. So pleased with how this turned out. I just love it. And finally is this layout that you would have seen yesterday. And this is for Off the Board. This month we all got to go into our 5th board and pick a pin from there. It was fun. We were all trying to be challenged in the same way. And because we all have different boards and everything like that, we all just said, go to your 5th board, find a pin, create a layout like that. And my 5th board happened to be Halloween, which was perfect. So again, cut file from Creative Cuts Club. And a bit again with the really fun idea of using a stencil as my mixed media, because I just didn't want to get dirty, messy. So I find stencils are the way to go when I want to have some mixed media, but not too much. And of course there's some sequins hanging around. A few of those layouts were probably for Spiegel Mom scraps, and I can't actually remember which ones they are, so I apologize about that. I forgot to mention those. But I always use sequins, so any layout could basically be for Spiegel Mom scraps. And I love this. So happy trick or treat, and this Mwahaha. And this is Jackson from Halloween from last year. So what did we do? We got him from when he was 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think I did a ton of Jackson for Halloween, which is exciting. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do a final count of the layouts. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there will be some that you will see starting tomorrow for Christmas, 12 Days of Christmas, the music edition. I'll see you all then. Bye.